I'm going to try to do something different on this one. In that I will go through lyric by lyric and try to analyze it that way. And of course, I'll also talk about the melody, because without the melody, you don't get a song. It would just be a slam poetry. And I don't want to talk about slam poetry. I want to talk about the music. So, speaking of the music, this song is definitely a standout on the album. It's one of my favorites on it. It's very, very catchy. Drain You is a very, very catchy song. Very catchy with the melody, with how, again, using the light and shade that they use so well on Lithium, they're kind of using it again, going from clean to distortion. So very, 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 very Nirvana. So on the lyrics front, um, he the lyric "one baby to another" says, "I'm lucky to have met you." And reading these lyrics, it's so weird to read lyrics as opposed to sing them. It brings a completely different dynamic to them, but you can also get a different feeling from them by not singing them and reading them instead, and then the meaning could come out easier for you because you're reading them. Because sometimes when you're singing them, you can get lost in the melody of the lyrics as opposed to just reading them. So one baby to another says, "I'm lucky to have met you. I don't care what you think unless it is about me." So he's completely self-centered in this song, but completely enamored with, I'm assuming, a woman. I'm probably going to find out later on, because I don't really do any research as I go into this, because I want to know what the songs mean to me, but I'll probably find out that it's about, like, a drug, or about a dog, or about something completely different than I thought it was. But that is the beauty of music, isn't it? It can mean so many different things to so many different people. So, Cobain then goes on to write, "It is now my duty to completely drain you. I travel through a tube and end up in your infection. Chew your meat for you, pass it back and forth." This song's probably about a bird, like a mom feeding a baby bird, like a mother bird feeding a baby bird. "Pass it back and forth in a passionate kiss." Okay, then maybe not. "From my mouth to yours, I like you." So this is like a love song, but using absolutely disgusting imagery. So he's talking about something beautiful like love, but this imagery about chewing food and passing it back and forth and being in your infection. He's doing it so well, and I had no idea this was a love song until I kind of looked at the lyrics while I listened to the song, because I usually don't read lyrics while I listen to music. I usually do other things because I find it kind of boring just sitting there following the song sometimes. It reminds me of being in reading class in elementary school or high school or junior high school. It was so boring sitting in reading class and having someone read and you had to follow along. It was terrible. Anyway, this is my favorite line in the song. "With eyes so dilated, I've become your pupil." He is doing such a cool play on words because, as you know, when your eyes get dilated, your pupil becomes bigger. But he's using pupil in the terms of the pupil in your eye. But then the next line, he's talking about, "You've taught me everything without a poison apple." So he's also a student. So the pupil in the eye, and then the pupil meaning a student. I thought it was everything about a poison apple. This is what sucks about not having the official lyrics in the CD booklet. You have to go to some website, and they can get the lyrics wrong too. So I think it's about a poison apple, and this woman is teaching him maybe about some bad things. Who knows? Maybe it's drugs or something. "The water is so yellow, I'm a healthy student." Again, this is one of these lines by Cobain where I have no idea what he's talking about, but at the same time, I do have an idea what he's talking about. Um, "Indebted and so grateful, vacuum out the fluids." So, getting back to the healthy student line, at least when I listened to it as a kid, it meant to me, at least back then, oh, this is disgusting water. I'm going to drink it, but I'm still okay. So even the things even though things are around me are disgusting, I'm gonna go through it. I think what it means to me now is with the line, "The water is so yellow, I'm a healthy student, indebted and so grateful, vacuum out the fluids." It appears that the woman, it appears that she is sick, but Cobain is healthy, and he takes his healthy self and makes her well by vacuuming out the fluids. Maybe making him sick in turn. Maybe we're talking about a codependency. Maybe we're talking about a drug relationship where he's trying to help a drug addict, but then becomes an addict himself. Um, and then the lyrics repeat, and while there's I guess a solo, you can say it's a lot of feedback, and there's a chew toy, kind of like a dog's chew toy. So maybe that brings back the fact that it could be about a dog for all I know. But what's so cool about this, it's not a typical guitar solo. It's not like a Stairway to Heaven type guitar solo. But what's so great about this, it just starts off as nothing, just like a tiny wall of noise, and then it just builds and builds and builds and builds and builds until it just completely erupts, and it becomes the exclamation point of this is just Cobain's just yeah, just his scream, which was just which we all know so well. I don't know if I'll put it at a legendary scream, like maybe a Rob Halford or a Robert Plant or an Eric Adams from Manowar. And this is probably one of the few times you'll ever hear any kind of commentary with Nirvana and Manowar being repeated in the same sentence. But Cobain did have a scream, and it just came from, I think, a dark and angry place. It was just a dirty, guttural scream. So the so he repeats the chorus, and then the only new lyric that's left is I'll start from the chew your meat for you, pass it back and forth, which is what we already heard. In a passionate kiss from my mouth to yours, sloppy lips to lips, you're my vitamins. I like you. So it definitely sounds like a codependency. It definitely sounds like the subject of the song. And again, I am going for a woman because that's my gut instinct. I guess my gut instincts always go to women. Um, it's definitely sounds like a codependency, and they need each other to keep each other going. So on that note, I am going to get going because I have a busy day ahead of me. So I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I will see you next time. Have a good one, everybody. Bye.